3, 2, 1. Rolling sound.
Sorry.
Do one more.
So I don't clap until you say rolling sound.
Just give me a clap real quick.
Okay.
Who are you?
I am Sierra. I like to think of myself as a humanitarian. I am an animal lover. I am an artist at heart and a reader. I am inquisitive. I like to think. I like to ponder. And I think that's who I am.
What was your childhood like, and what were some important lessons that you learned then that you carry with you today?
Okay, well, my childhood was a lot of things. Um, I would say I was a very introverted child. Um, a lot of what shaped my childhood were things that I chose to do, like reading. Um, I did used to read a lot. Um, I would find myself trying to connect with, nature and animals. Um, so I don't think I was a very popular child. um, because of my introversion and I guess my certain tendencies, but trying to connect with nature and the outdoors as best as I could while living in New York. I did things like try to feed the squirrels. I would uh, take nuts from outside, and for whatever reason, I thought this would be better with peanut butter. They'll want this with peanut butter. So, and I got my sister in on it too a couple of times. And I had my little binoculars. They were like, I don't know, like these kitty binoculars. I called myself bird watching, squirrel watching. So things like that, you know. I was a very imaginative kid. I gave the squirrels names, okay, and I remember to this day was Rocky and Linda were my favorite squirrels. Rocky was a black squirrel, and Linda was a grayish squirrel. And they frequented our backyard. I don't know why, but they did.
All right, we're going to have rolling camera. 3, 2, 1. Rolling sound. Give me a clap. Thank you.
I did it.
Who are you?
I am Sierra. I would like to think of myself as a humanitarian. I am an inquisitive person. I'm an artist at heart, and I'm an animal lover. I live in Atlanta, around Atlanta, and I was born in New York.
What was your childhood like, and what were some important lessons that you learned then that you carry with you today?
Okay, so my childhood was, I don't want to use the word lonely because I wasn't necessarily lonely. I have 3 siblings. I guess I just wasn't very popular. So I spent a lot of time in my own head doing things like reading or trying to connect with nature, the outdoors. And one of the things that I used to like to try to do is to feed the squirrels in my backyard. So I would collect nuts, and I thought that they would think peanut butter was really cool. So I would collect the nuts, mix them in peanut butter, and then place them outside, and then get my little kitty binoculars and look out the back window, see if they liked my concoction. I was there for quite a long time because they did not care. But I got my sister in on that. And I used to name them too. I'm going on about the squirrels, but I actually miss the squirrels now that I think about it, because their names, well, the two that I can remember are Rocky and Linda. And Rocky was a black squirrel and Linda was a gray squirrel. And I liked to think that they were together, but I couldn't confirm. But they both frequented my backyard. Anyway, um, I was a very imaginative kid. I did like to read. I liked to draw. I started drawing really early and young. Um, and I guess I could say a reoccurring lesson from my childhood was about kind of accepting myself or being comfortable with myself and who I was, despite um, how I felt when I was in groups of other people.
How does a flower grow?
Up, upward, from the ground. um, I'm gonna assume this was a metaphorical question, but I think that the way I answered it should suffice. Upward toward the light. Um, and I think that that's how people grow as well.
Please give me a number from 1 to 100.
Okay. Um, 4.
To what degree have you actually controlled the course your life has taken? And what have been some impactful choices that you have made on that journey?
Whoa. Okay. To what degree have I controlled the path that my life has taken? I want to say to the utmost degree. um, but I don't know if I could say that with confidence. I think that most people's lives is a mixture of the decisions that they make and sort of the things that happen around them, which you're not always in control of. So, life is sort of like a series of actions and reactions. And your life kind of goes the course that it will go depending on everything that comes at you and how you decide to deal with it. So, to what degree? I don't know if I can grade the degree of control that I have over the direction of my life. Sometimes it feels like I don't have any, I don't have any control, and sometimes I can feel that I do, and the weight of it is the weight of knowing that you can control things can be overwhelming um, or very empowering. It really just depends on what's going on. So I can't remember the second part of that question. You're going to have to repeat it.
What have been some impactful choices that you made along that journey?
Some impactful choices that I've made along the journey of my life while I've been alive. Let's see. Well, I've been alive for 32 years. So there's a lot to consider here. I think that I guess I'm struggling with the word impactful because I haven't made any decisions with the intention of being impactful. At least not when I'm just considering myself. It's usually when I'm considering other people, the people around me, or my environment, or things around me, something like that. So to be impactful toward myself is actually an interesting idea that I would like to ponder a little bit more about.
Please give me another number from 1 to 100.
81.
Do you believe more in fate or that we are the creators of our own destinies because we are governed by free will?
Well, if I could define fate, I would struggle. I would say that fate is more just a word that people have used to refer to like the amalgamation of like every single person's decisions and timelines sort of like coinciding at one time. So if you're asking to believe in fate, you're asking to believe in every single person and every single thing that ever happens to work in in your favor. Maybe, maybe not. I guess I don't believe that there's some one greater anything that can conspire to control the way things go, if that makes any sense.
Please give me another number from 1 to 100.
52.
What's the greatest risk you've ever taken?
Let's see. You know, at this present moment, while I am trying to think of the answer to this question, I am coming up with, I don't think I'm necessarily a big risk taker. Um, not not on purpose. Just that I don't know. Maybe I haven't felt like there's been an opportunity to say that I've taken like a giant risk. I feel like I've taken little risks all throughout my life. Um, but maybe it's just the way I'm thinking about the question. I can't say that there's been one huge risk that I've decided to take. And I think when I do take risks, it generally involves other people. Like, you know, one that I felt that I feel every time I do it is getting close to another individual. I feel like that is risky.
Please give me another number from 1 to 100.
27.
When was the last time you broke someone's heart?
I have no idea. Oh, that sounds bad. But I mean that the way my relationships usually go, it's never been just a clear I hurt you, and not instead of we hurt each other. you know or maybe that's exactly what you're asking me, I guess. Maybe one of my prior relationships. Goodness, this is hard for me to answer. I don't have very many romantic relationships to refer to. They're usually several years apart. So I would say the last time I broke someone's heart, which would infer that this person loved me, was maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Please give me one final number from 1 to 100.
It feels like my life is on the line every time I choose a number. 68.
Where do you find meaning in your life?
Currently, in the care of animals. That is my job. That's what I do right now. I'm a vet nurse, and animals bring me great joy, and they bring a certain amount of tenderness to my life. I've always been able to find comfort and joy in taking care of animals. And that's been like a constant, a regular. They can be vulnerable, but they have personalities, and you can you can I feel like I relate to animals very, very much, very easily. They're uncomplicated beings, and so much of their lives are influenced by what we decide to do. Um, because we kind of took over the world, and they're just subject to it. And I feel like the least I can do is give back to them, um, make sure that they're healthy, make sure that they're happy. Um, and I can making connections with as many living beings outside of just people, even though with people is very important as well, especially to me. But insects, animals, trees, all of that, um, it's all like very personally important to me.
How do you find meaning in your daily experience? What propels you through life?
Pretty much what I said just now. um, Sometimes, it feels like life is really, really difficult. Getting lost in like what meaning the meaning of life is, or your purpose. Um, I don't believe that people have a purpose, or at least not in the way that most people mean it when they say that. I don't like the idea of having a purpose, or being pressured to live and to define yourself in that way. Like how could you? You don't even know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. But making connections with every single thing that I feel, um, that I feel compelled to go toward, that I can explore, being alive through the eyes of other living beings, and taking care of those things. I suppose, what I mentioned earlier about tenderness. You don't really have a choice when you're like out in nature, or around an animal or anything like that, but to slow down, and to be tender, be it because you're calm and collected, and trying your best to interact with these things, or because you're fucking scared because there there is an animal right in front of you and you can't predict what it's going to choose to do. Either way, you don't have a choice. Tenderness is forced into your life when you have to consider everything around you, your environment. So I don't remember how I started the answer to this question, or what the question even was, but I really feel something about what I'm saying.
What has the experience of living been like for you to this point? What can people learn from your life?
I have no idea. It is totally up to whatever individual that I come in contact with to learn something from me, or completely disregard my existence. That's up to you. I wouldn't tell anybody what to learn from me. I'm just a person like you are. What life has been like for me thus far, uh, so many things: difficult, beautiful, emotional, sad, um, especially like the probably the last year of my life, maybe a little bit more than that, but you know, dealing with a lot of death and mortality. Um, I almost lost my brother about almost a year ago. We're a few months shy of a year of it, and that was the scariest thing. that I can say has ever happened to me. And I say to me like I'm the one that almost died, but it kind of felt like it actually. So I can say that it did change me a little bit, and I hope nothing like that happens happens again. But I don't know, maybe that's what's to come. Maybe that's what some more of what the rest of my life is going to be like. Not people almost dying, but little deaths, constant deaths and revivals in different ways.
Life is fleeting. We never know when it's our time. If these were your last words ever recorded, what would you say about your life and legacy?
That I hope anyone who has met me has never felt pain because of me. That everyone is important. Um, and I do mean everyone, even if I hate you. Everyone is important. And that, at least if you're listening to me right now, your purpose is to have no purpose. It's just to be alive and to be okay with that until you can't anymore. And then be okay with that too.
So I ask you finally, who are you?
I am me. Um, I felt more confident about the answer to that question at the beginning of this. and, and now I'm just like, who am I? I am just me. I am nobody. I'm everybody. I'm Sierra. Uh, and hopefully I'm a friend.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. And that's a wrap.